I just want to say before this video starts, this video gets loud at some points because I was using this as a microphone. So, yeah, definitely don't watch this video at full volume if you can help it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video. And
Two to the one, from the one to the three. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get no.
What is going on, Startup Kid here. Now today, before the video starts, I just want to say I'm going to be doing a giveaway of these glasses. Picture on the screen. They're signed by me. All you got to do, if you want these glasses and you want to be entered into the giveaway, is comment, I want the glasses. Any variation of that, and I'll accept it, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. I'm going to be picking whoever wins the glasses on Thursday. I'm going to be giving them the glasses on Friday. Now, let's just absolutely Control-Alt-Delete into the story. Now, for me, science is third hour, right? And obviously, as the day goes on, you're going to be more and more awake. And this is when I was starting to get a lot more awake than I was first and second hour. So I pull up the science, right? And, I'm sitting there. And as class goes on, she was like, yo, guys, we got to check this homework from yesterday. And I'm like, okay. For once in my life, I was being a good science student, and I was checking my homework, right? While I was doing this, I see a note on the ground, a paper. And it's folded. I'm like, wow, I wonder if there's any pieces. So I pick up the paper, I unfold it, and all I see on it is, hey, Paul. Now, this is going to be very loud. But seriously, nobody cares about Paul Brennan. He is a fictional character, and that song is the most annoying thing on the earth. Yeah, sorry, guys, that was really loud. Hopefully, you guys, there's no, headphone users that are watching this, and I didn't just completely make their ears bleed. But I get angry, and I crumble up the paper. Now, this kid is laughing because he can obviously disdain in my eye, right? While this kid is laughing, while I'm crumpling the paper, the teacher comes over, completely stops the entire class from what they're doing. She comes over to me, and she's like, what's that paper? And I'm like, I found it on the ground. And she was like, why did you crumple it? And I'm like, because I'm angry. And she goes, why are you angry? And I didn't know what to say quite yet, so I just stared at her. I literally stared at her, right into her eyes. She saw how soulless my eyes are, right? So, while I'm staring, she goes, is it that hard of an answer? And I'm like, I give her the description of, when you're making tea. I've never made tea before, so I don't really know. But when you're making tea, it makes that sound. The teapot makes that one sound. And I gave her that description. And she goes, are you boiled? And I'm like, yes. Right after I said this, the homie Zacergag Peterskin goes, Fortnite? Yeah, he's tilted. And I'm like, my boy Zacergag, he hit it on the nose, right? My boy, he got it 100%. And she starts going off on this motivational speech, okay? No joke, no scam. Literally, she was like, oh, when you distract one person, that person distracts another person. It's just this ripple effect. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't trying to distract anybody. I was literally trying to do my, look at the answers, right? Just trying to be a good science student. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to be disrespectful, even though she was definitely pushing my buttons. And she just starts going off on this tangent, obviously about me. Apparently, I disrupted the class, and I'm like, actually, you disrupted the class. I didn't disrupt anything, because she literally stopped the entire class. Like I said, the entire class from what they were doing, just so that she can call me out. So I'm sitting there, and she's like, "Do you understand this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Now, right after I said this girl goes, oh, he's doing it for attention. I'm like, literally, nobody asked for your input. Nobody cares what you have to say. You're not involved with the situation. Nobody cares. And the teacher was like, oh, are you not loved? Do you not get enough attention? Are you not loved? And literally, I got so mad. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk out of the classroom now. And she goes, okay, third hour family will miss you. And I'm just like, shut up. Literally, I wish I could have told her to shut up. Now, I start walking around the halls, right? And I go to the bathroom and I call my mom about this because I was so angry. I was literally so angry. I called my mom and she was like, "Oh, that's messed up." But she said she was proud of me because I did the right thing because I left the classroom. So I walk around like I literally did like 4 laps around the school. No joke, no scam. I literally did so many laps, and apparently while I was walking around, she sent some kid to go to the bathroom, and I obviously wasn't there. So he came back and he was like, "Yeah, I wasn't in the bathroom." And so, I mean, she starts having teachers hunt down for me, literally. Like, I didn't know this at the time, but like I saw one of the teachers that was hunting down for me, and I kind of didn't go that way. Even that was probably for the best anyway. And like I said, I was walking around the school, and I go up to there's office is like from where I was at, the office is like at the very beginning of the hallway, and there's this whole hallway, and there's classes and stuff. And I'm in that hallway, and this teacher sees me, and she's like, "Oh my God, you know, we've been looking for you. We've been trying to get to the hunt for you, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Yeah, me and this other teacher were trying to look for you." And I'm like, "Guys, I didn't leave the building. I was just walking around the school." And she's like, "Yeah, you were just supposed to stay out in the classroom." Like, well, this is how I relieved my anger, because I was angry, obviously. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, but you're just supposed to, it was just a miscommunication, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but she told me to, obviously to go out there and, relieve my anger." And that's what I did. I didn't know I was supposed to stay there. No, I wanted to walk around the school because I was angry. And I chose what I wanted to do, and I did it. So she's like, "Oh, okay." And the secretaries were like, "Oh, you got to come into the office." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going into the office." And she was like, "Can you just go into the office?" And she was being really nice to me. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll go up to the office." And I'm standing there. I'm kind of like walking around the office. Like there's different colored tiles. Like it's in a pattern. So I kept on stepping on one color of the tiles. And the assistant principal comes out and he's like, "What's good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm kind of angry right now." And he's like, "I'll talk to you. I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta go deal with something." I'm like, "Okay." So he gets done with all of his mumbo jumbo, and he comes out and he's like, "Oh, yeah, so let's go talk about it in my office." And I'm like, "Okay." Now, the teacher that found me came in. She was like, "Oh, I'm so happy that you went to the office." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." And she was like, "Are you still angry?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still angry." And so I go to this office, right? And I tell him this whole thing. And literally while I'm talking to him, I start crying. I don't know why. I just started to cry. And he was like, "You need a Kleenex?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Okay, if you want to stay in my office for a little bit, you can." So I stay in his office, right? And sorry, my assistant principal, but I played on my phone a little bit while he was gone, and I see like 3 texts that was sent to me, and they were like, "Where'd you go?" And I'm like, "I'm in the office right now." And apparently, I found this out later, but apparently people were saying I left the school, and I'm like, "No, my house is like a mile away from the school. I'm not walking a mile. My mom was in another town. She was in a completely other town from me. I'm not walking, and I'm not going to wait for my mom." So he comes back, and he was like, "Okay, do you want to go back to class?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, just, can you go get my stuff for me?" Because the class I was going to, this is 4th hour, and I have 4th hour history, and it's completely on the other side of this hallway, the office hallway from my science class. I'm like, "Yeah, can you go get my stuff for me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got you. No worry." And I'm like, "I bet." So I pull up the history, and my eyes are so red. It looked like I just smoked so much weed. And everybody looked at me, and they knew that I was crying because my eyes were red. And I go on through the day, literally. So I come to find out, this is apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently the principal and the assistant principal were talking to the teacher, and after they were talking to the teacher, they're talking about firing her. Now, if I get a teacher fired, which, I mean, I don't think she should be fired. I think she should definitely be in trouble because she just insinuated that I'm not loved. But yeah, if I get a teacher fired, boys, that is a first time experience. Getting a teacher fired. I don't know if she's gonna be fired or not. But yeah, so that's the end of the story pretty much. I literally caused a whole riot. So many people thought I left the school. So many people were asking me where I was. I was literally just walking around the school. Like I wasn't anywhere else but the school. And yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the story. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. And, excuse me, in the next video. Goodbye.